Since Oliver Anthony released his song, Men North of Richmond, a few weeks ago, people from both sides of the political aisle have been accusing the song and Oliver himself of having a political agenda. The right is trying to adopt Oliver Anthony as their own, as was seen in the GOP presidential debates when politicians turned Men North of Richmond into a battering ram against Joe Biden. And the left has accused Oliver of punching down on poor and needy people in some of his lyrics. One well-known person who has criticized some of Oliver's lyrics, specifically those about obese people being on welfare, was Rainn Wilson, better known as the actor who played Dwight Schrute on The Office. Earlier this month, Rainn posted this on X.com. "If I were writing a song about rich men north of Richmond, I wouldn't talk about obese people on welfare. I'd sing about CEOs who make 400 times their average worker's salary, up from 50 times 30 years ago, and corporations that pay zero taxes and offshore tax shelters for billionaires." Now, for some context, I'm quite certain that Rainn himself is fairly wealthy. And as Joe Rogan said on his podcast when he was interviewing Oliver Anthony, there's nothing funnier than millionaires talking crap about billionaires. There's nothing funnier than these millionaires pretending these billionaires are out of touch. Now, Oliver has addressed these attempts by both the left and the right trying to characterize his political leanings. He called these attempts aggravating, so much so that he made a YouTube video specifically addressing these people. And in that video, he answered his critics who were unhappy about the obese milk and welfare line. And this is what he said. "You know, the English language is interpretive, and so I do understand there may be some people who misunderstood my words in Men North of Richmond. But I've got to be clear that my message, like with any of my songs, it references the inefficiencies of the government because of the politicians within it that are engulfed in bribes and extortion. You know, the words say that there's people on the street with nothing to eat and the obese milk and welfare. That references a news article I read earlier this summer that adolescent kids in Richmond are missing meals over the summer because their parents can't afford to feed them and they're not in school to eat cafeteria lunch. And meanwhile, I think like 30 or 40% of the food bought with welfare EBT money is in a classification of snack food and soda. I think 10% is spent on soda, and I want to say 20 or 30% is spent on junk food. And that's not the fault of those people. Welfare only makes up a small percentage of our budget, you know. If we can fuel a proxy war in a foreign land, but we can't take care of our own, that's all the song's trying to say. It's just saying that the government takes people who are needy and independent and makes them needy and dependent. Now, in that same YouTube video, Oliver also addressed those on the right that are trying to claim that he is on their side. I also made a video on that topic, which you can find on this channel. So what say you? Has Oliver been able to walk the center line with his music and stay out of the political battles as he is hoping? Or do you think that in this divided country of ours, he's going to be labeled by one side or the other no matter what he says? I'm curious what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and until next video, y'all take care.